first.
Hey, how's it going? I cannot see the chat, so I'm assuming that's probably Alakazam. In any case, whoever's first, welcome to the chat. I am streaming directly from the PS5 using PSVR 2. Unfortunately, the speech chat does not say the name of the person who commented. Uh, so I hear the comment, but I don't know who typed it. Whereas if I was on PC using the PC speech chat, it would say the name of the person commenting. So, what brought me?
Eating pizza and watching a good streamer.
Hey, thank you. I really appreciate that. So, what brought me to play GT7 after clearly explaining how much I had been um, frustrated by this game, by the dirty racing, the terrible penalty system, and then as far as PSVR 2 itself, I found the 120 hertz reprojection to be off-putting because it can make the game look blurry, simply put. In the case of this game here, GT7, when you go around corners, that's where the reprojection rears its ugly head. I mean, that's where it sticks out like a sore thumb. You can't ignore it. So as far as GT7 goes, I don't think I've done a GT7 stream in about 3 weeks. I did a daily race and I was knocked off the track and I did a soft rage quit. I mean, I didn't flip out, yell, scream, whatever the case may be. I just said I'm done and I stopped the stream right then and there because it wasn't any sense flipping out, yelling and screaming and stuff because that's just the way GT7 is. The horrible penalty system incentivizes dirty racing. You guys have heard me say that before, where you'll get knocked off the track and you'll be the one getting hit with the penalty. Not only that, the punting, not only will people punt you in an effort to take over your position, so if they're in fifth place, they'll punt you just so they can take fourth place. Another thing is, if they come in too fast and it looks like they're going to slide off the tracks.
Yo, Lincoln.
Hey, how's it going? They can also use you as a guardrail. So if somebody's coming in too fast and they're going to go off the track, they can punt you off the track in order to save themselves from going off the track. So all that stuff combined has made GT7 less than fun. What brought me back to GT7 today is yesterday, my son was using the Quest Pro, and you know, the pancake lenses of the Quest Pro have absolutely spoiled me. I almost don't want to go back to any of my other headsets, including this one, because they all use Fresnel lenses. But
I was enticed to try PS5/GT7, but yay, people were complaining about the state of the game when it launched.
The biggest problem when the game launched, the biggest problem I had with the game was the microtransactions. They were super egregious. You know, you had cars in there that cost 20 million credits, and it would like cost you like $100 of real money to buy the credits in order to purchase that car, which I thought was absurd. And then I felt like Polyphony Digital did something that was really sleazy. People found out how to gain credits, as they call it, farming credits. They found out which races paid out the most money, and they just did those races over and over again in order to get the big payouts. When Polyphony Digital found that out, they sent an update through.
Crazy, it's like FIFA. I tried 23. First game since FIFA 2006 and 16.
I get it, given the reputation of EA and given how greedy they've been. They had taken the fun out of a lot of their games with the pay-to-win microtransactions. Coming back to GT7 with the microtransactions here, once Polyphony Digital found out about people farming credits, they sent an update through with the intentions of trying to reduce the payouts to stop the farming and it broke the game, and the game was offline for like 36 hours, and nobody could play the game when it was offline. And so once that was met with like a massive backlash. And so once they got it back online, Polyphony Digital sent out an apology to everybody, and I think they gave everybody like 1 million credits for it, and that kind of shit, for goodwill. And then after that, I think they kind of gave up on trying to stop people from farming credits. They didn't adjust the microtransactions. They claimed that they were going to adjust the payouts, but it wasn't even worth talking about. There was a lot of other things that hadn't been done yet, like the dynamic weather wasn't being implemented. The ability to sell cars hadn't, been used yet. So, yeah, a lot of people have been less than happy with this game. And my biggest problem was the terrible penalty system, where somebody would knock me off the track and I get hit with the penalty for it. And it's just, I found it rather disgusting.
About the dirty driving.
Yeah.
I guess that's anywhere in huge player base games, F1 included.
Well, not necessarily. The biggest reason, in addition to the dirty driving, like the biggest thing that incentivizes the dirty driving on this game is the horrible penalty system. It does not punish the perpetrators. It punishes the victims. And then the other problem is simulated damage. The cars don't really get damaged from colliding and hitting each other. The only time the car gets damaged in this game is if you smack the wall really, really hard, but your car would only be damaged for 10 seconds. After that, the car returns to normal. All the damage is erased. So yeah, those two factors incentivizes dirty driving. Now, other sim racing titles like F123, if you turn the damage on, if you hit the wall, your race is over. It'll bust your front wings, and it'll rip off one of your wheels, and your race is over. So in the case of F123,
race damage. Huh.
Yeah. So in the case,
wait until Renlist/AC2.
Mm-hmm.
I will enjoy your and Ham's content in the meantime.
Really, really appreciate that. In the case of F123, as I was going to say, if the damage is turned on, people have to be really careful, because if you do something dirty and you get caught up in all the mayhem, your car could get destroyed too, and your race would be over. It's not like GT7 where you could knock somebody off the road and keep going. In the case of F123, if you plow into another car with the intentions of knocking them off the track, your car could end up destroyed as well. Other games have simulated damage, like Automobilista 2. Same deal. If you plow into another car, you'll destroy your own car, because in the case of Automobilista 2, when damage is turned on, it does not take a lot to destroy the car. Trying to think what other games have damage. Assetto Corsa Competizione has damage. And it has a penalty system, but the penalty system is not harsh enough. I mean, it punishes, both people will get hit with a penalty. Like, if you get hit and it's not your fault, you'll still get a safety rating penalty anyway, as well as the car that hit you. They'll get a penalty too. But it would have to have like penalties in like 4 races in a row before it finally affects your penalty, your safety ratings. And then as far as the damage goes, yeah, this damage. So for the hardcore people, this worried about turning in the fastest lap times, they're going to avoid getting into wrecks, because if your car gets damaged, it affects the aeros, it affects the car's performance, and you're going to turn in slower laps. So people, in the case of ACC, people who care about turning in the fastest laps, they're not going to cause any trouble. On PC, ACC on PC, they're not, as far as like the low fuel motorsports races, they're not really dirty. They just take stupid chances. They'll try to force their way through a corner, and and the opening's not there, but they'll still try to take that chance anyway, and they end up taking another car out and
Good point.
and wiping themselves
I
out.
haven't touched too much online F1. My ping from Middle East is sometimes high 160 plus-ish if not in prime EU servers.
I can get that because on ACC, being that the majority of the servers are in the UK and in Germany, and I'm in America, the ping is usually anywhere from 120 on up. But ACC, as far as low fuel motorsports, for practicing, they did add a couple of American servers. So whenever I go in there, the ping is only like 60. So yeah, I get where you're coming from with the ping. So today's stream,
Haven't tried LFM. Only SimGP website was mixed reaction. Race Room still has the most forgiving bumping and grinding emo.
Okay. Low fuel motorsports, I love it. I can't speak of SimGT. I've never registered for it. But I definitely can recommend low fuel motorsports because in the case of low fuel motorsports, if somebody does something dirty, you save a replay of the race, you clip it, you make a video clip of the incident, and you upload it to Low Fuel Motorsports, and live people will review the video, and if they determine that that person did something wrong, they will hit them with a severe penalty. So the penalty is so severe that a lot of times on Low Fuel Motorsports, when somebody like accidentally takes you out, the first thing they'll do is send you a message saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So because they don't want you to report them, they're scared that if you report them, they're going to take a hard hit for it. So I am going to do a Low Fuel Motorsports race today because I'm on the verge of getting back into the Iron Plus class. Right now I'm Iron. I suffered a serious setback with ACC. I was getting into a lot of wrecks, and the 1.9 hotfix really screwed up the Porsche that I was using and made it a very unstable car, so I had to switch and switch to the McLaren, and I've been shattering personal bests left and...
Seems you took a break.
Yeah. So I have been shattering my personal best left and right. So today's stream, as I was saying, what brought me to this point earlier is that my son was using my Quest Pro, so I'm telling myself, you have to find a reason to try to use this PSVR 2 so it doesn't end up being a waste of money, because I barely touched this thing. And so I decided to jump on GT7, figuring that it's probably going to, be a blurry mess. And I got on here, and it did not seem as blurry as I remembered it. It actually seemed a little bit clear, but in the same breath, the assets, the game looked like it was a little bit downgraded, to put it in simple terms. I think Polyphony Digital has done that before when people were complaining about how blurry the game was when it first launched. I think Polyphony Digital put out an
soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to Firewall. Polyphony Digital had put out an update to improve the visuals, but I think it came at the expense of the graphics. I think the game was a little bit downgraded in order to make the visuals clearer for PSVR 2. I'm wondering if Polyphony Digital has done that again, because yesterday I was doing some time trials and it didn't look bad. On the straights, does it compare to my PC? No. Was it as sharp as my PC? No. But it definitely seemed to have looked better than what I remember it. Now, don't get me wrong, the reprojection is still there, and you still see it when you go around corners. You'll still see what, it used to look blurry, but now more or less what it looks like, it almost looks like a double vision now. But I could still see everything. And so I said, well, okay, I guess I can deal with this a little bit. So I did some time trials yesterday, and the purpose was I wanted to see how close I could come to my lap times on a set of Corsa Competizione on PC. ACC on PS5, there's just no way around it. I will never beat my lap times on ACC on PS5 for the simple fact that I'm not in VR. It's like playing two different games when you play a game in VR and then you come back and play a flat screen. I couldn't be as aggressive as I normally am in VR, and therefore I wasn't anywhere near my lap times on ACC on PS5.
I am the dude from Ham's channel that has the 4090 and G2 combo. Part of me wants a Quest Pro, part of me a Crystal.
You know what? That is a sticky situation. I don't trust the Pimax Crystal, if you want to know the truth. All these influencers that review the Crystal make it seem like the thing is perfect and there isn't a single thing wrong with it. But then you go,
either way.
But then
I can't go back to flat screen, old F1 games or rent sport if it doesn't have VR. Crystal has too many cons, great visual, but headaches.
Yeah, exactly. But all these influencers say all these glowing things about the Crystal as if the thing is perfect with no flaws. But then you go to Reddit and you see all these comments.
How would you compare FOV on PSVR 2 and Quest Pro?
To put it in simple terms, the FOV PSVR 2 is 110 degrees. The FOV of the Quest Pro is 105 degrees. You can see it, but it's very slight. I do see it. The FOV is slightly wider with PSVR 2. But it's only a 5-degree difference. So the FOV on the Quest Pro is still good. It's hell of a lot better than the Quest 2 and the HP Reverb G2.
When the G2 came out, everyone had headaches but me. Cables died galore.
Mm-hmm. The G2, I have a G2. Now the center, the sweet spot was crystal clear, but outside of it was extremely blurry. With the Quest Pro, all that is gone. The pancake lenses give you edge-to-edge clarity. There is no sweet spot. Everything is clear from edge to edge. Now, even with the foveated, even with the eye tracking FOV PSVR 2, if you look outside the sweet spot, things are still a little bit soft and borderline blurry. So yeah, I mean, I think that when it comes to the FOV between the Quest Pro and PSVR 2, is so small that it's not even worth talking about. In my opinion, I don't mean that as a bad thing, but when people would ask me whether I would recommend Quest Pro or PSVR 2, that kind of thing.
FOV and pancake lenses seems a no-brainer.
Yes.
Yeah, it's double the G2 on sale, but should be another 2 years of use like this G2.
Mm-hmm.
By then,
That being said, I have a Quest Pro, and I am going to. I'm going to wait until the Quest 3 comes out, and then I'm going to take a look at eBay and see if the prices come down on the Quest Pro. People's asking price on the Quest Pro. I want to see if that comes down because I want to get another headset because I'm done with these Fresno lenses. Hey, once you go pancake, you can't go back. Putting it that way. So I want to wait.
That's a good point, Lincoln.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. So when Quest 3 comes out, naturally, there's going to be a bunch of comparison videos where people can compare the Quest Pro to the Quest 3, and I want to see what some people say. I think a lot of them are not going to be transparent. But you know what? What I could do is, because even though I'm monetized, I don't make shit off of YouTube. A lot of people won't discuss what kind of money they make off of YouTube. But me, I don't have a problem telling you guys. My channel is small, and the amount of views that I get is a lot smaller. So I don't have a problem being honest with you guys that when it comes to YouTube, when I look at the revenue and see those big black numbers that pop out at me, is usually anywhere from $5 to $15 a month. So that being said, I'm not motivated to say whatever it takes to get clicks and views and yada, yada, yada. So when it comes to these headset reviews or any kind of hardware review for that matter, I have no reason to withhold information. I have no reason to lie. So I will give my honest opinion. And so with Quest 3 coming up, what I could do is go ahead and buy one from Best Buy, and you have like a 14-day return window. So what I could do is go ahead and buy the Quest 3 and then just do my comparisons and then tell you what I think between the Quest 3 and the Quest Pro. And if the Quest 3 is not as good as the Quest Pro, I will return it, and then I will jump on eBay and I will look for another Quest Pro. If the Quest 3 ends up being better than the Quest Pro, which I actually doubt, I think the only thing that the Quest 3 is going to do better.
Hams and Greg's VR are the best VR YouTubers.
Yeah, thank you.
I can't watch triple screen guys anymore with that zoomed in dash. Black.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Quest 3, I think the only thing the Quest 3 is going to do better than Quest Pro is the processor, because I guess it's going to have like a Snapdragon 3 or something like that. But at the same time, I'm not sure the Quest 3 is going to have that much better performance than the Quest Pro, because the Quest Pro has a Snapdragon 2 Plus, which I guess was supposed to give it 50% more performance over the Quest 2. So when people talk about all this, 33% more of this.
Appreciate you guys for hardware opinions. Here a Quest Pro is $1,600 ust. PC parts similar in markup. We can't return things we have shipped.
Yeah, as far as the Quest Pros goes, if you want one of those, I would still wait until the Quest 3 comes out, because once the Quest 3 comes out, if the Quest 3 turns out to be a big hit, the people who have Quest Pros, they're going to be desperate to get rid of them, and they're going to take a hit on the asking price. And so that's the only reason I haven't bought a Quest Pro, a second one, is because I'm waiting for Quest 3 to come out and see what it does to the market on eBay. There we go. But I can tell you this.
Looking forward to our comparison, man.
Well, in my case, I don't see any point in doing a video, because compressed video is not going to show you the difference between the Quest Pro and the Quest 3. All I can do is just go live and just give you guys my my initial impressions. But
I've been hard tempted to get a Pro, but waiting for Quest 3 to decide.
That's a smart move. I honestly, in the beginning, I felt like when the Quest Pro came out at $1,500, I was like, that's ridiculous. When they dropped the price to $1,000, I said, hey, that's a lot better, but that's still a lot. And people just kept talking about the pancake lenses and how much clearer things were and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, I don't trust it, because the Quest Pro has a native resolution of 1928p, whereas the Quest 2 has a native resolution of 1948p.
Like $750.
Yeah.
Easy decision.
Well, you could catch them on eBay at that price right now. What I'm waiting to do is waiting for Quest 3 to come out so I can catch a Quest Pro at $500. But so coming back to the Quest Pro, I'm thinking to myself, I don't care about pancake lenses. I'm like, I don't I'm a little bit apprehensive about this 1928p resolution when the Quest 2 has 1948p. So the Quest 2 has a higher resolution than the Quest Pro. And you know, something just kept itching me. You know, like maybe I had money burning a hole in my pocket or something. And so I'm sitting at home with my son. I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. He was like, what are you talking about? I said, I'm going to grab a Quest Pro. We hopped in the car and we drove to Best Buy and I bought a Quest Pro. And when I got it home and I put the Quest Pro on and looked at the standalone games, they still looked like dog shit because they had not been optimized for the Quest Pro. So the standalone games looked like dog shit. But then when I connected it to the PC, that's when I was like, whoa, that's when it blew my mind, because the pictures were sharp, and then the mini LEDs gave you the deep blacks that you would get from an OLED panel, but it still had vibrant colors. I was just totally blown away. So at first I said, I'm not going to keep it because it made me sick to spend $1,000. And then over the next coming days, as I just kept playing with it, I got so used to seeing that sharp picture and those vibrant colors. I said, I'm keeping it. And I bought it knowing that the Quest 3 is around the corner. So yeah, when I made a post on Twitter showing everybody that I bought a Quest Pro, all kinds of comments were coming in like, you could have waited for the Quest 3, yada, yada, yada. Well, no shit, but it didn't stop the comments from coming in. I do not regret buying a Quest Pro. In fact, Mash Daddy of QVC, and he's also a third panel member on Virtual Strangers with Wes and Roots. I had been in contact with him, and was talking to him about what headset should I get, and I ended up going with the Quest Pro. And so I sent him a message, and he says he loves his Quest Pro. So on the Crewcast, they mentioned my name, Gamertag and all those guys, and they were discussing, because I had been in contact with both, MASH and Gamertag, because I'm friends with both of them.
I have a friend who just bought Index Hub.
I think the Index is those Knuckles controllers are I think they're one of a kind. My son absolutely loved this Index. Now, unfortunately, his Index, the cable went out, and he doesn't want to spend the $90 to get a new cable. Instead, he went back to his HTC Vive that has a blurry picture. And I'll keep telling him, just go ahead and spend the $90 and get a new cable. But he's bent up on this thing that clarity is not that big a deal to him. Clarity is everything to me, especially when it comes to sim racing. I need to see those corners. I need the picture to be as sharp as possible so I can see the corner coming up, so I can judge how I'm going to approach the corner. So anyway, Mash Daddy and those guys, they mentioned my name on Crewcast, and they talked about how I felt about the Quest Pro and how I love the Quest Pro, even though I know that the Quest 3 is right around the corner. And then get this. So Roots, all that talk about the Quest Pro and my opinions of it and that kind of stuff, he got the itch.
It was a new game with the 4090 man, thanks to you and Hams.
Oh, yeah, I love the 4090. The 4090, along with the Quest Pro, has finally delivered the kind of visuals that I'm looking for in VR, especially when it comes to sim racing games.
F1 similarly.
Yeah, no doubt. So Roots of Virtual Strangers, he bought a Quest Pro. And I sent him a message congratulating him because I'm friends with Roots and Wes also. And Roots said, hey, you and Mash Daddy kind of, motivated me to get one. And Roots, he cannot stop talking about the Quest Pro. He absolutely loves it. And he keeps picking with Wes, and I can see it in the things that he says. He keeps nudging Wes into getting a Quest Pro. And I think where it's at is, I think Wes is tempted to get one, but he knows that the Quest 3 is right around the corner. So I think he wants to wait to see what the deal is with the Quest 3 before deciding whether or not to get a Quest Pro. But one thing, like I said, one thing is for certain, after Pancake lenses, I can't go back. I got 6 headsets. I don't want to touch any of them except my Quest Pro. So one thing that would be really cool if Sony would have done it was make this headset upgradable. I think Sony, what they probably could have done is let you buy optional Pancake lenses for PSVR 2. You know, if you want to spend an extra 50 or extra $100 for the Pancake lenses, give people that option. I think that would have been a really cool idea, and I would have done that. So now, so that brings us to today's stream. Somehow I found somehow I was able to push myself.
What an intro.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I found I was able to finally push myself to jumping back into GT7. And yesterday I did some time trials with the intentions of trying to match my PC lap times on the Set of Corsa Competizione. And I came pretty close and on one of them, but I actually beat one of them before I went live. And I'll show you guys. Over here at Mount Panorama, my fastest lap on Mount Panorama is a 2:03.9 over on ACC. But I know I'm going to beat that. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I know I'm going to beat that. So I tried it here. And let me show you what my lap times were. You see right here to my right, my previous best was a 2:05.5. Now, just before I went live, about a half hour before I went live, I was doing some time trials, and you see that I shattered it. I did a 2:02.6. So to be exact, that's 2.9 seconds faster than my previous lap. So if I want to get, if I want to round it off to the nearest tenth, I can call it 3 seconds. That is my fastest lap on Mount Panorama on any game using a GT3 car. When I come back around to doing this on ACC, I'm not sure I'll be able to beat this 2:02.6. So let's move on to another track. I already beat my ACC time here, so there's no point in me doing a time trial here. So let's move on to another track. I also want to do Spa and Monza. I might even do Watkins Glen. So let's have a look at Watkins Glen first. Where are we at? Here it is over here. So I don't have a recorded lap here. On ACC, I believe my fastest lap is a 1:45.9. So I could go ahead and do a couple of laps here, and that would be the goal, is to beat a 1:45.9, because that's my fastest lap on ACC. So let's do it. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. So right here, the picture is actually clear. This is when you turn right here, that's where the reprojection kicks in.
right-hand drive trip me out.
Oh yeah, but I'm used to it. Oh, I made a big boo-boo there. But I'm still on my outlap, so that doesn't really mean anything. If I beat it, I beat it, but I don't expect... .146.1, I can do it.
Watkins is awesome.
I love this track.
Fans used to go there in the 60s and 70s for Can-Am and F1.
Oh, nice. There it is. 145.5. I just beat my fastest ACC lap. You know, and I have to say it again about GT7. Looking at it right here, is it razor sharp like my 4090 PC along with the Quest Pro? No, but it's clear. It's just that when you go around the corners and that 120 hertz reprojection kick in, it's almost like you're seeing double vision, like right next to each other. So it is, or to put it in a simple term, you see what looks like a ghost trail. But yeah, we'll go with that. Let's move on to the next one. 145.95. So that beats my fastest ACC lap by 0.4 of a second.
Axe has this on flat screen with replays and upscaling, no?
Oh yeah, definitely. So let's move on to another track.
The ghosting.
Well, in the case of ACC, whatever headset you have, they have tools within the hardware. You can turn it off. You can turn off, whatever they call it, motion blur. In the case of Meta, it's called a synchronous space warp. You can turn all that stuff off to get a native frame rate. And if your PC is powerful enough to push it at least 90 frames per second native, you're going to get a sharp picture, and it won't be blurry, and you won't see the ghost trail. But in my case, even when I get Ghost Trail, even if I get the Ghost Trail, it's not near as bad as it is over here. So we beat that. So let's go to Spa next. Here, on ACC, I spent years trying to get beneath 220. When I first started doing Spa on ACC, I started out turning in 228s. And over time, it went down and down and down. 225s, 224s, 223s, 222s, 221s. And then just recently, when I made the switch to the McLaren and I bought the Coach Dave setups last week, now I'm turning in consistent 219s. And my fastest lap, I think on Spa, might be 219.3, which I'm over the moon about that. So that's what we are aiming for. Here, we are aiming for 219.3.
How is meta for recording? I only know Steam VR/WMR interface.
I don't even...
Mobilista 2 was lousy with the blue Win Plus Y bar at the top of the SCR.
If you're talking about the built-in recording of the Meta headsets, I don't even use them. I don't even use their Meta headsets. I don't even play the standalone games anymore. I just use them as PC headsets. So any recording that I need to do, I use OBS. All right, folks, here we go. We're aiming for 219.3.
I dabbled in OBS, but the performance was less than having the game screen on the screen and using shadow playing video.
Well, with the new 4000
with XR and all that stuff.
With the new all right, I'm going to pull over for a second and answer that question really quick. So with OBS, sometimes on my computer when I would open OBS, it would tax my computer by as much as 30% just opening OBS. With the new 4000 cards, the 4070, 4080, 4090, whatever, there's a new format that you can use. I think it's called NVENC, Incovink or something like that. If you use that format, now when I open OBS, it only taxes my GPU like by maybe 2%. And then when I stream, it only taxes the GPU by only like 7%. So now my PC is actually strong enough with the 4090.
EC codec.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
yeah, so now
I only tried with 3090.
no, like see, it won't work with the 3000 cards. You got to have a 4000 card. It supports the 4000 cards. So now, because of that NVENC with the 4090, this is incredible. I'm able to run ACC at VR Epic settings, even though I have to tweak a couple of things like the shadows and that kind of shit. And I'm able to upscale the resolution to like 2900p. And I'm still able to stream from the same PC, and it only taxes my GPU at 7%. I'm able to do everything from the same computer now. And that was the reason why I had built 3 computers. You know, I got my main computer with the 4090 in it that I do all my sim racing on. I have my backup computer with a 3080 Ti that my son uses that computer when he comes over. And then in my bedroom, I have my streaming computer, which has a 3070 in it. And I use the NDI plugin. In the beginning, I was using the NDI plugin so I can ship all the streaming duties over to the streaming PC, and then I can just focus on gaming with this PC, but the problem still remains that just opening OBS can tax your PC up to 30%, even if you're not streaming. But with that new NVENC format, like I said, I open OBS, it only taxes the PC by 2%. I stream, it only taxes the PC 7%. That's amazing. So the streams that you guys have seen me do lately with the MetaQuest Pro, I've been streaming and racing from the same PC. Not only that, it allows you to get the same performance at like a much lower bit rate. So that being said, if I wanted to keep the same bit rate, I could actually up the resolution to 1440, but it might tax the PC a little bit. So what I did is I just left everything at 1080p, and whenever I stream, it only taxes my GPU at 7%. So that frees up a lot of resources for me to tweak the settings within ACC if I feel the need to. This is what you don't want to do. This game will punish you for like running on that green tarp. It's like being on ice.
Feel your pain on the ACC Porsche Hub.
Yeah. Yeah, how unstable that car is? Absolutely.
I own the road car and it has mild understeer on Cup 2S. Way faster in the 720 Evo or 296. Depresses me. Life choices, haha.
Wow, there we are! 218.1. Once again, I shattered it. I shattered it. 218.1. And I made a lot of mistakes on that lap. So if I would have done another lap or two, I probably could have broken to the 217s, which is alien territory on ACC. The aliens on ACC, they turn in 216s and 217s. So with me turning in at 218.1, I am absolutely ecstatic about that.
Hard to compare the two games though, man.
This is true. But I think that because this is a simcade, I think it's kind of expected that you probably should be faster on this game.
Like me, I love hot lapping.
All I'm really doing is like, I like to do hot lapping between all the different sim racing games. Like at some point, I'll come back and do this on an Automobile Lista 2. And I'll try to match these same lap times on Automobile Lista 2. But this game in particular, two things. I think that because this is a simcade, I think it's kind of expected that you should be a little bit faster on this game than you would be on ACC. And then the other thing, in my opinion, I have the advantage of VR. I can properly judge corners because I see them as they're coming to me. I see it as it's coming to me in what appears to be real time, real speed, and I can judge the corner way before I get there. Now you
Assetto Corsa and road cars. Take your favorite track. Compare Lambo with Ferrari with Porsche. Heaven.
Actually, I've done some hot lapping with different cars on ACC. If you're talking about ACC or Assetto Corsa, Assetto Corsa, I really don't mess around with that much because I love ACC so much more. But actually, so what I did was when I quit using the Porsche, I switched over to the Ferrari. And I was actually starting to set some personal bests with the Ferrari. I was starting to, for the first time in my life, I was finally starting to turn in consistent 149s with the Ferrari. But then I switched over to the McLaren, and I absolutely loved the way that car felt. But it had a huge dead spot in the middle, so I made the adjustments with my wheelbase to kind of eliminate that dead spot. And now, as far as handling goes, I absolutely love the McLaren. And then I bought the Coach Dave setups, and then I just started shattering my personal bests left and rights. And that's how I was able to turn in that 219.3 on Spa. I turned in a 148.6 on Monza. That's where we're headed next. I turned in a 148.6.
You don't like Assetto 1. I need a round rim though for road car enjoyment.
So I don't have any.
Comes in VR on GT wheel is masochistic.
Well, I actually like Assetto Corsa, because when I go in there, I always use the 787B and I always jump on Circuit de la Sarthe. I like Assetto Corsa 1. It's just that I like ACC so much more. 218.1. Look at that. All right.
Got you.
Final stop. We are going to head on over to Monza.
Temple of Speed Time.
Agreed. All right, let's do this. All right, here we go. Monza, my favorite track on ACC. Full course. So actually, I did a hot lap here yesterday, and I did pretty good. I'll show you guys. Right there, I did a 149 flat. Only 4/10 short of my personal best on ACC. My personal best on ACC, as I was saying, is 148.6. That is what we are aiming for. We are aiming for 148.6. That first chicane is tough. $149.2. Ooh. Where's my ghost? Oh shit. 148.7. If I can stay ahead of the Ghost this lap, then I'll beat it. Fuck. I stretched that gear all the way out. There it is. 148.5. All right. I'm good with that. I am good with that. 148.5. I beat it. I beat all my personal bests on ACC. I'm ecstatic about that. So, based on that third sector, if I would have been able to match the third sector time, I actually would have chopped it down to 148.4. You know what? I think I still got a roulette ticket that I can redeem. Let's go see what it is, and then we will go ahead and hang it up. Because I still have to get to a LFM race at Silverstone, because I only need 10 ELO to get back into Iron Plus. So I want to go get some practice for that. And plus I'm getting thirsty. It's just getting hot in here. Yeah, let's redeem this ticket. Oh, come on now. Oh, well, 500,000 credits? Okay, okay. That might actually be enough for me to go get that Toyota GRO 010 hybrid car. Because I do want that car. Whoops. Let's go back. We need to go back to Brand Central. So let's see how much the GRO 10 cost. Toyota. And here we are. $3 million. Up until these new hypercars came out, this car was dominating Le Mans. But yeah, Ferrari came and won it this year. And hell, the NASCAR actually was holding his own. The NASCAR didn't do bad either. It was still faster than the GTE and the I think it's called like GTE AM and GTE on or something like that. Whatever the two GTE classes were, the NASCAR was like kind of blowing their doors off. And as far as the LMP2 cars goes, the NASCAR was actually holding up pretty good against those cars. But the LMP one, like the hypercars, no, it couldn't do anything with that because like these cars was doing like 220 miles an hour on the straights. Let's get it. They're the exact same cars. The question is, do I want number 7 or do I want number 8? Let's go with Lucky 7. Oh, I see. They've got the endorsements in different places. Like that Denso right there. Right there, it's got Fujitsu, where the Denso was on the number 8 car. So they're the exact same cars. It's just, yeah, we'll go with number 7. Yeah, let's take her for a spin on Monza.
Did you hit up F1 in COTA/Miami?
No, I have not. As far as like our co-op career goes, Ham hadn't been feeling good like the past week or so. So we didn't get together to resume our F123 co-op careers. But when we get back at it, we're at Monaco. You know what? Let's take it to Spa. Let's go. Oh, you know what?
In real life.
Oh, in real life? No, not yet. Because I'm still trying to sort out what I'm gonna do because my son will be 18 next year and he'll be old enough to finally get into the casinos, in the hotels and stuff like that in Las Vegas. So at the moment, we are planning to go to Las Vegas next summer to visit Floyd. Yeah, I got to go buy some softs for it. All right, let's go. Damn, this is weird because this car feels so tall. And it feels so compact in here.
Qatar just dumped a bunch of money into Losail after their first F1 race. We are lucky to have all three now, F1, MotoGP, and World Ender.
Yeah.
In VR these things feel so claustrophobic.
Yeah, I love it. I've never done the triple screens before, but I'm convinced that nothing is more immersive than VR. Woo!
Same. I had a belt-driven wheel in early 2000s for one of the early Need for Speed games. VR is game changer and closest to real life.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This car's a little bit of a handful. Whew. This car is a little bit of a handful. Let's look around, see if we can look around and see. Yeah, I mean, this car, there's no room. This car is like, if they were to move this steering wheel over, say about 8 inches, the steering wheel would pretty much be dead center. So I mean, this car is compact. Wow. All right. And then that's pretty slick. You see the onboard camera right there. Pretty slick. Pretty slick.
Love the Puma gloves in Gran Turismo.
Yeah. Yeah, but they use the sparkles on ACC. I think when it comes to racing gloves, I think Sparkle is. I think it's a little more popular, and I think it's a little more preferred than Puma. But when it comes to racing shoes, I definitely got 2 pairs of Pumas. I normally
Those
wear the.
Sparkos are the best looking.
Yeah.
Those two looked a bit weird. The patterned ones carried over from PC too.
Now I got two pairs of Puma racing shoes. They're the Red Bull racing shoes. I got a pair of white ones with the black Puma stripe, and I got a pair of black ones with the white Puma stripe. They were actually pretty cheap. I caught them on sale. I think they normally retail for about $70. I caught them on sale for like $38 a piece. So I bought two pairs. But yeah, I think the sparkles look better. Then I think both Sparkle and Puma have manufactured brand apparel. Like, I think both Puma and Sparkle have like an official Porsche pair of shoes. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I plan to buy like a shirt from Puma. I can't decide whether I can't decide. It's more than likely going to be a Porsche shirt, or it could be a Ferrari shirt. I don't know, but I plan to get one of those at some point. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it there.
I want some of the old Nike Schumacher boots.
I haven't seen those yet, but I bet they're pretty cool and probably pretty expensive. I'm not going to dive into any daily races because I just don't feel like dealing with the dirty racers, especially being that I'm getting ready to jump over on ACC and do a low fuel motorsports race over there.
Trying to get the Puma Speed Cat shoes here, but we have different stock than US/UK.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying, but yeah, the Speed Cat shoes are some pretty slick looking shoes. So I want a pair of red ones with the white Puma stripe. So
they used to make a red one with Monza track on the sole.
Ah.
Surcat.
Cool. So definitely want to thank everybody for the conversation. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys sitting in through my intro as I was rather long-winded explaining the differences between the games, the VR headsets, how I perform on each platform, that kind of stuff. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go off into an LFM race. This is still at Silverstone.
Appreciate your insights always, man.
Hey, I appreciate you as well. I'm not going to stream this LFM race because it's at Silverstone, and I've already did like 2 or 3 of those streams this week. But the new daily race this evening will be at Nürburgring, so I may possibly stream that later on this evening. But it would probably more than likely be at like 7 p.m. Eastern time or 8 p.m. Eastern time, which that would make it midnight or 1 a.m. in the UK, which I'd imagine everybody will be asleep by
9
then.
9 p.m. here. Maybe if I'm up.
Okay. So, hey, but on the other hand, what I could do is just go ahead and practice tonight and do the live stream tomorrow and try to do it at a time where everybody in the UK can see it live. So you know what? I should just go ahead and do it like that. So I'll just use tonight as a practice to get some laps in.
I added you on Discord, by the way.
Oh, appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. So, with that being said, I'm going to get ready to boogie on out of here. And more than likely, I'll catch you all tomorrow since I'm going to go ahead and wait until tomorrow to do the Nürburgring race. And you all definitely have a good day. Boy, it is hot. I'm thirsty. Get something ice cold, lay around on my ass, watch some YouTube for a little bit, and then I got to get ready to take my son home. And so we will see you all tomorrow. Have a good one, everybody. Man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Until then, you all know the line. Wakanda forever.
Always here to support.
And I appreciate the support 100%. Absolutely. So, you all know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king. And deuces. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. We will see you soon.